You know, you talked about not only having individual government, but we have individual government and family government and church government and civil government, which brings up the point of jurisdictions. And there's an old axiom that says good fences make good neighbors. And it's like when you know where your property line is, you're not arguing over who owns what because you've got a fence there.
Right, I was thinking, so being from the country, that makes a lot of sense for us. Our neighbor's cows are on his property, so having a ranch, if your cows are always eating your neighbor's grass, they don't really like that very much. But having fences allows you to keep your animals on your property, your neighbor's animals stay on his property, and then you're not frustrated with each other. You see each other and, hey, how's it going? And you're happy to see each other because there's not a frustration of your stuff is always on my yard and it's on my lawn and your animals are eating all my grass. So the idea, the axiom that good fences make good neighbors actually makes sense, especially if you're from the country, because it respects property, respects boundaries, which makes it easier to live with people.
And there are distinct boundaries for each of these. For example, if you go to the family, it's the jurisdiction, it's the responsibility of the family to raise the kids. It's not the government's responsibility to raise your kids. It's not the church's responsibility. It's the family's responsibility to raise the kids. If you go to the individual, it's not my responsibility to enforce the law. If I see someone commit a murder, I don't go out and punish them. Civil government does that. It's not my responsibility. I have a boundary that I'm to operate within as an individual. On the same thing, the church has its own boundary. The church is not the one setting doctrine for the entire nation. The church operates within its boundary. And on the other side, the civil government doesn't take over the church and said, hey, we're going to all be, as has happened many times and for over 1,000 years in world history, you would have the world ruler declare what the religion was going to be for all the people and punish everyone who didn't believe that. No, that's not the civil government's jurisdiction. So in all four of these jurisdictions, what makes them operate well is if you know where your fences are, you know where your boundaries are. Individuals are supposed to do this and this only. Family does this, and it doesn't do the others.
Now, you're saying family does that and doesn't do other things, but there are some nations where their belief isn't that the family should raise the kids. There's some nations that think, wait a second, no, the government should raise the kids, and it takes a village to, to raise a family, to raise kids. So how could we say that it's just the family and it's not the job of government or everybody else to raise the kids?